daughter of Elizabeth Corbella. I'm just going to start off to say thank you guys for coming. My grandma, I love her so much. She had 3 kids, and from the 3 kids, they have 22 grandkids, and she had a total of 24. And if there's one thing that I'm grateful for where I currently live at right now, I remember when I was younger, I always used to know come Friday, I already knew once I would see the Jack in the Box, right, when going into Campbell, I already knew, okay, my mom's taking me to my grandma and grandpa's house. Like I already knew where I was going, and if you had been to their place there, my grandma, she had all her Minnie Mouses, Mickey Mouses, her Betty Boops hung up on the wall, and she had a whole display of them. And right now, currently, where I only live about 5 minutes away from there. So I get to still have those memories of when I would go to the park with my grandma and grandpa, and we would go to the store. And if there's one thing that my grandma taught me when I was younger, it was how to ride the bus. So by the time I was a teenager, I was going everywhere. I didn't need my mom to take me anywhere. I knew how to hop on the bus, how to get from San Jose all the way to Milpitas, anywhere. I knew how to read the routes. I wasn't worried about the homeless people, anybody, because one time I was on the bus with my grandma, and some guy, like, he just came up to me and sat next to me, and I was like so terrified. My grandma, she was just like super calm about it, and I was just like, Grandma, like, who is this person? And she was just like so just calm, and that was my grandma, and she was very loving, and yes, she was very strong-willed, and if there's one thing that I'm forever going to miss, it's that fierceness in her. But what I will say is that she loved all of us, and all of us grandkids, we have so many different memories with her. When I would always go and I would be with her, my grandma and grandpa, thanks to her, I learned how to cook so many foods. I had recently told her a few months back that my son always tells me that I make the best French toast, and that I tell him I only know how to make it because my grandma would make it. And I know how to make it, but I would never eat it to this day. But she knew how to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich with a tortilla if she didn't have bread. And she just knew how to improvise and make a meal. And I will forever miss my grandma, but I'm so grateful for everything that she taught me, because I always say that if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't know how to pray or have faith, because that's one thing that every night when I was there, that now I lay me down to sleep, was the one prayer that we said. And that's one thing that my grandma always had. She always had faith. So although it hurts me that she's no longer here, I always knew that when her time had came, that she would be ready. And that's where she would want to go. And that she wouldn't want to suffer. And I didn't want her suffering. And ultimately, she's finally no longer suffering. And at the end of the day, she loved everyone. I just went, back in June, I went to my grandma's place. And she was telling me how it was going to be one of my older cousin's husbands and his mom's birthdays, and how she was going to be calling them to let them know happy birthday. And I was always just so amazed, because growing up, she didn't have a book to memorize the birthdays. She memorized them all in her head. And when I had went over, she was showing me the book, and some people's birthdays, they weren't on there, but she still remembered them. And like, even if she didn't have them on there, she was like only off by like a day or so. And I remember when I had went to see her in the hospital, she still remembered her birthday. And I was recently looking up online about Betty Boop, and I had found out that she made her debut on my grandma's birthday on August 9th. And I was like, that's such a coincidence, because if you knew my grandma, you know how much she loved Betty Boop. And I will forever love her, and I'm grateful that she left behind the legacy of all of us, and how much love that she left behind with all of us. Thank you guys.